Hello, this is the first video in the Galactic mail game. This is the end product. The first step is to get the asteroids and moons to fly around the screen, have a background in your room. Okay, let's get started. This is chapter 3, pages 41 through 49. When we're done with this first movie or video, you will have the moon, asteroid, explosion, landed and flying sprites loaded, 2 sounds loaded, explosion and bonus. You'll have this background called main. You'll have the object moon, the object asteroid in the first room. Under the moon, there will be a creation event to set it in a direction of random 360, and an outside room event that causes it to wrap around. Okay, if you've already done that, move on to the next video. Let's get started with the game then. First, I'm going to file, save as. Well, I've already done this. Under chapter 3, I'm going to call my main 1 video. I'm going to overwrite it. And then let's just bring in our sprites. So right click here, create sprite, load sprite. In the chapter 3 folder, as you can see right here, I'm going to want the asteroid. Make sure remove background is clicked and open it. Rename it to SPR Asteroid. Now what's different with these is we don't want the registration point up here at 0, 0. We want it in the center. So we're going to center the registration point and hit OK. Now we're going to do that same exact thing with the rest of our sprites. So I'm going to load another one, and I'm going to load the moon this time. Remove background. Hit OK. And this one's going to be SPR moon. Make sure you center it. Okay. Okay, I've got all of them loaded now, but I'd like to show you something. If you come onto the Sprite Flying and you edit the sprite, you can see it's a series of 72 images. And when it animates, you see that it spins here. We can use this to get the angle of the ship right when it's flying. And the same thing with the landed one. It also has a series of 72 images, 0 through 71. Okay, that'll come into play later, so the ship is facing the way it's flying. Now we might as well bring in our sounds. So create sound. We're going to load the sound. I'm already in chapter 3. Let's bring in the explosion. And we're going to call it sound explosion. You can test it. Yep, that's an explosion. Very good. And let's bring in our other sounds. Let's load our other sound. And this one is going to be the bonus. Let's bring in this bonus one here. Call it sound bonus. Okay, and we might as well bring in our background music too, so we have a little bit of something to listen to when we're testing our game. So let's bring in the music MP3 one right here, and we're going to call that sound background. Sets the mood of the game. Alright, now we've got a few sounds to mess with. Now we're going to make the moon move around the room. So we're going to create an object. This will be called OBJ moon. And we will give it the moon sprite. Now we're going to add an event. In the event that is created, we're going to use something a little different this time, move free, which gives us a lot more direction options, not just like 8 of them. So we're going to do a little trick here. random, and then the parentheses here goes 360. This little line of code will return a number between 0 and 360. So you never know what direction your moon's going to go in when it starts. And we're going to set a speed of 4. That should start the moon moving around, but we don't want to lose it. So when it leaves the room, outside of room, we're going to use this fancy little wrap thing here, wrap screen, and we're going to set this in both directions. So it should start moving now in random 360, just a random direction with a speed of 4. Now we're going to do that. We're going to create another object, obj, called Asteroid. Let's give it the Asteroid sprite, and we're going to do the same thing. In the event that it's created when the game starts, we're going to start it moving, random. It's your first line of programming code, 360, and speed of 4. In the event that it goes outside of the room, we're going to wrap it in both directions. Okay, we want to test this now, but in order to do that, we need to have a room to test it in. Before we make our room, however, we're going to come into the object of the asteroid, and let's double click on it to edit it, and we're going to set this depth of 10. This will push it back into the screen about 10 pixels so that the asteroids will go behind the moons. This will make it easier for us to land on the moons later. So if it's kind of a tie, your object that's at the same depth will be the depth of the moon, will land on the moon and not get blown up by the asteroid. So the bigger the number, the depth, the further it is into the screen. So it should go underneath all the moons. Let's create a room. Okay. And let's go up to the background tag. I'm going to make my room big so I can see it. And let's... Oh, I didn't load a background first. So let's close this. Let's right click. Let's create a background. Let's load it. There's this background here. We're going to open that. Have a look at it. It looks good. It's the exact same size as the room. And we're going to call this background main. Okay. There's a reason for that later because we're going to have more than one room. Now I can come into room 0 and I can go to background and give it the main background. Okay. While we're in here, let's go to the settings tab and let's call this room first. So we know it's our first room. Alright, now, I don't know why I exited that out. Just have it, I guess. We can go down here to the Objects tab. Let's put 1, 2, 3, 4 asteroids in there. And then 4 moons. Hit OK. And cross your fingers. And let's run it and let's see if we have a nice end product here. Looks good to me. Are the moons on top of the asteroids? Yep, right there. Gonna get another collision. Yes, the moons are on top of the asteroids. We have everything moving. No noise yet, but we'll get to that in the next video. Thank you very much.